Egypt because that's where all my family is, and we spend it at my grandparents' house.
Gaining lots of money from my grandma.
And most of the time it's all of my cousins, they go to my grandparents' house and we stay up all night, taking the Eid shower, fixing our hair, fixing the house. Everything is just chaos and everybody's up all night until like the Eid prayer.
Gaining lots of weight from my grandma's house. And then
the traveling part.
Oh yeah, okay.
We call it
recap.
And then we all go for Eid prayer and then we pray and then we come back and everybody's like happy in the street and there's balloons everywhere. And then we come back home to my grandma's house and she has like these Eid biscuits that we have back home. They're like very famous. Every house should have these Eid biscuits. So we keep eating it, and oh my god. Because like now you can finally eat in the morning and now you can finally drink coffee. So you take every advantage of that and we just spend all day together.
Probably getting the chance to meet my fellow relatives since they're back in Indonesia, and then get some extra cash from them to survive my studies here since my parents kedekut sikit.
And we buy like these little things that when you throw in the ground they make the sound. I forgot the name, but yeah. And we used to buy them all the time and play. Yeah, it's just the gathering and staying up all night, and then in the morning you go finally pray. Finally it's Eid, you're not going to have school or anything, and then you just spend the rest of the day. But by the time like it's 12 p.m. everybody's sleeping because everybody's tired. But yeah, it's fun.
And then eat some cake.
Yeah, get some cake.
And then the traveling part. And we call it mudik as well.
Yeah, getting stuck in the mudik for 6 hours straight. What a best memory.
Well, gathering with.
Itu udah gue bilang kenapa lu jadi copycat gua.
I lived my entire life away from my extended family. So my whole life it was just me, my dad, my mom, and my 2 brothers. That's it. I never knew my cousins, I never knew my aunts or any of my uncles. So the first time we went back to Pakistan after 10 years of staying in Saudi Arabia, it was my first Eid there. We went to my aunt's house. All my uncles were there. All my cousins were there. I got to meet a lot of them for the first time. I spoke to them for the first time and found out how much we had in common. We talked about things that we had in common. Our uncles gave us a lot of money.
My favorite Eid memory is all of them that I spent with my family. Because I don't know, it's just the feeling of being at home and mom's cooking and all your family and your siblings there. It's just the greatest feeling. Like I remember staying up for Eid prayer because I usually can't sleep because I'm so excited for the next morning because my mom cooks like rendang and lontong and I love that stuff, like I really miss it.
Kita gathering, makan kue, ditanyain udah nikah apa belum? Apa lagi?
Kapan lulus?
Kapan lulus?
And we for that entire week of Eid, we just did like the cool. Like they showed me the city that I've never been to before. They took me to markets. They took me to try the street food in Lahore. They took me to all of the houses of our uncles and our aunts. They showed me what it means to have a family, which is something that I really didn't have growing up, separated from all of my extended family. So I think my best memory of Eid is that moment where I got to meet my extended family for the first time, and I bonded over Eid with them over the course of that week. Yeah, there it is.
And it really pains me to say that, like, for the past 2 years, I've been spending because I study abroad, I don't get time to go home, and it's really far away from home. So I've been spending my Eid like with my friends, and I really miss my parents and my family. But yeah, my fondest memories are always like at home because mom's cooking is nothing beats that. So yeah. Not really. We just eat together. My mom always cooks like lontong and rendang, like the best stuff, the good stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We just go pray together, the typical family stuff. We just go pray together and we go home. We eat at a big table, and yeah.
Nothing specific, but we have this thing. We have barbecues at every Eid. So there's an area in Lahore where my house and my uncle's house is situated. All of my other cousins, they all show up to either my house or my uncle's house, and we have a really big barbecue. It doesn't matter which Eid it is. You know, there's the two Eids. So there's one Eid where you mess up a goat, and then there's the other Eid. Both Eids, we just have the barbecue. We call everyone over, and then we eat like a whole bunch of food. And we play board games until 3 a.m. in the morning.
We usually order the color for
your
the
family.
prayer. Yeah.
For my family, we're a bit universal. What do you call that? Sprinkle color.
Sprinkle color.
Yes, red, white, blue, Power Ranger, geng up. Oh, really? Last year I wore red, my dad wore green, my little brother wore blue. Pakai helm langsung Power Ranger.
Not really, but for example, if we spent our Eid in Saudi Arabia, like all my parents and my siblings, we would always go to this ice skating place, and then we could just spend the whole day ice skating and then go back home. This was like a trademark for Eid, and also my mom had to buy this specific type of chocolate every time. So yeah.
Tradition, I think it's like the normal Malay family.
Oh, yeah. I think
Like after prayers, you tend to visit the graveyard of your late grandpa, grandma, and then after that go back home before we eat. Salaman, ask for Ramadan cash, then we eat. Then we go to sleep for the whole day.
Yeah, and then the next day, right? And then we visit our senior relative, right?
Yes, we visit our senior relatives. When you come, wow, you so big, huh? True. Kan?
Oh, now getting bigger and
You
bigger.
getting bigger. How old are you? 22. When are you getting married? When are you gonna have a wife? When are you getting a job? Okay.